Ian, Executive Producer of InsurTech Connect Asia, and today I'm joined with Soo Meng from RGA. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks, Vivian, for having me here today.
Thank you for being here. Could you share a bit more about yourself and your role at RGA?
Sure. So I'm part of RGA. I heads up RGA's business in Southeast Asia. So looking after the what we call the traditional business in reinsurance, looking after business development, pricing, underwriting, health.
Really glad you can make time to join us today.
Yep.
Let me just dive right into the questions. Firstly, how can data and technology help to close the insurance gap in Asia?
Okay. Now, in my opinion, there are really three things that we can do. One is that we need to sort of increase the awareness of protection need.
Yeah.
Second, we need to make sure that insurance is accessible. And then finally, we need to make sure that the insurance are inclusive. All right. So let me elaborate a little bit. So first, what do I mean by increasing the awareness of protection need? Now, if you look at nowadays, we have bank apps that can tell us, how much money I have in my bank. How can I grow my assets, right? I'm sure you have your
it's
phone.
Very convenient.
Yeah, that's right. You can see sort of at one glance all your financial information, right? And then you also have health apps, for example, or wellness apps that give you at one glance, all the necessary information to help you improve your health, right?
Correct.
Okay, so you cover your wealth, you cover your health, but if you look around, there isn't readily available or holistic or comprehensive information regarding how much financial protection, I need, right? How if something untoward happens, do I actually have enough to make sure that I can cover my treatment, to make sure that, to make up for my loss of income. So I know there are some companies are going in that direction, but at this moment, I don't see, anything as comprehensive, as easy to use, as pervasive as the bank app and the health app. So I think, that's one area that we can use to increase the awareness. Right? Then the second thing about making insurance more accessible, right? So with technology, obviously, it makes it more efficient for us to reach out large number of customers, especially in Southeast Asia. Overcoming distances and reaching out all these potential customers, and at the same time, make it more efficient for us to understand the behavior, so that we can better tailor products that are more likely to be accessible by those customers, are more likely for them to take up, and then making the distribution and the onboarding much easier, right?
Okay.
And then finally, in terms of making insurance more inclusive, one area that I think is important to ensure that we use data and technology to make product available to those people who were previously not able to access it at the effective price, or not able to access at all, right? So, for example, actually some companies in Southeast Asia are already providing CI or critical illness or medical reimbursement product for those people who are diabetic and not previously are able to get insurance at all.
Yeah, I think that's very crucial. How should reinsurers leverage data and technology in product development?
Okay, that's a good question. So if you think about it, traditional underwriting in insurance haven't really changed in the last decade. Okay, to be honest, you still answer that 20 over question, the long question, right? And then a lot of companies, with data technology, yes, they want to sort of introduce protection at a much simpler underwriting. But if you really look at it, the level of protection is actually still considered low. And then at the same time, the benefits are actually not as rich. Okay, so we are actually quite excited. We are actually working in areas leveraging data and technology, and utilize new sources of data that are not used in the traditional underwriting, so that we can actually simplify the underwriting down to, say, 2 to 3 questions, but at a much richer benefits, and at the same level of protection that you can get through traditional underwriting. So this is one area I think that using data and technology, and as a reinsurer, we are able to sort of leverage and provide.
Okay, how do you take advantage of that and accelerate that innovation?
Okay. Now, of course, in order to take advantage of that, I think the key thing, this is more of a philosophy, we really need to examine the questions and the pain points quite critically. Okay, we need to understand if this problem or is this question answered. What is the potential impact means, and we need to ask ourselves if there is a solution to this question. Can it scale? Can it give the sort of the impact that is both has a wide magnitude and pervasive enough, right? It's very easy to sort of fall in love with a solution, and that you sort of don't see that whether it really solves the problem.
Yeah.
So, and I think that actually will hinder innovation, right? So what we do is really to understand the pain points of our clients, examine them very critically, examine them very comprehensively, and that's how we sort of come about thinking, how one of the pain points that we are seeing our end consumers are facing is that both the protection are not rich enough, the onboarding is not as easy. They seems to have to balance the both,
Yeah.
but is there a way that we can get the best of both worlds, right?
Yeah.
Richer benefit, simpler underwriting, and that's how by examining a question critically, comprehensively, we can bring together all the various areas such as product design, behavioral science,
Yeah.
data science, technology, and then of course our experience, and then bringing it together a tailored solution for our clients so that we can bring financial protection accessible to all.
Yeah, I think that's really important. I think let's wrap this interview up. Maybe I would like to ask, what are your thoughts about the industry in moving forward in 2024?
Okay, so obviously 2023 we are really sort of coming out of COVID,
Yeah.
right? Now we're not wearing masks anymore. So and then you can see in this conference as well, it's just
Yeah.
so many people. I think definitely yes, we have come out from a difficult time.
Yeah.
But I foresee that I'm really already seeing a lot of innovation coming out into the market. A lot of the companies are looking at how they can design products, design processes that are different from before.
Yeah.
Then I have very optimistic about 2024. I think we're going to see a lot of new things coming up, and that's going to make our life better.
Yeah.
Give us more protection.
I think that's very exciting and promising. I can't wait to see you next year as well.
Right.
Thank you so much for being here, and I really hope you enjoy the rest of our conference.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Thank you.